Hello everyone, GoldenNova here. The restructure decks have been an interesting product to see unfold. Functioning as updated versions of these structure decks of old, these new versions have an interesting way of showing how the game has evolved, and where priorities have shifted. And the structure deck I'm most nostalgic for is Machina Mayhem, and its cover card, Machina Fortress. Easy to summon and painful to remove, Fortress slotted effortlessly into any machine build as an easy way to crank out extra damage or anchor your board without much investment. So, suffice it to say, expectations for the deck's update were particularly high. And now that the full deck list has been spoiled, well, people aren't exactly going crazy over it. But despite the middling response, I think we've got something really good here, especially if the lore hints on some of these cards unfold the way I think they will. Let's go over the old cards to see what we're working with, introduce the new additions, and see how they mesh with the established base. To save some time, I'd like to start by summing up Machina Soldier, Sniper, Defender, Force, and Commander Covington. They're bad! Just so bad. And there isn't any support that meaningfully interacts with them in the new deck, so it's best to just skip over them. With that out of the way, it's time for the good cards. Machina Fortress is a level 7 Earth machine with 2500 attack and 1600 defense. You can special summon it from your hand or graveyard by discarding machines whose total level equals 8 or more. Funnily enough, you can discard Fortress as part of that, essentially letting you discard any machine to special summon it from your hand. If it's destroyed by battle, you get to target and destroy any card your opponent controls, and if they try to target it with a monster effect, you get to look at your opponent's hand and discard any card you want right before the effect resolves, so it doesn't even start a chain. Even nowadays, where those effects are easier to get around, it's still a solid monster to include in any big machine deck, allowing any level 8 or higher machine to act as a very specific monster reborn. And if that deck interacts with the graveyard, even better. Next is Machina Peacekeeper, a level 2 Earth Machine Union monster with 500 attack and 400 defense. It's certainly not popular now, but with recent advances in Union support, I think it's worth keeping an eye on. As a refresher, Union monsters can equip themselves from the field to a monster, usually of a specific type, or special summon themselves by unequipping from a monster, though you can only do one of each per turn per copy. It also acts as a layer of protection for the equipped monster, being destroyed in its stead should the host monster face an otherwise untimely demise. Peacekeeper can search any Union from your deck to your hand if it's destroyed on the field, so if they're equipped to a monster, Peacekeeper can keep them safe and then proceed to search you a card. This will invariably be Machina Gearframe, a monster hot on the heels of Fortress's popularity. They're a level 4 Earth Machine Union monster with 1800 attack and 0 defense. When normal summoned, you can add any Machina monster from your deck to your hand. A tried and true play sequence would be to search for Fortress, discard it along with another machine to field it as well, swing in for a bunch of damage, and then equip Gearframe to Fortress to give it a little extra staying power. Overall, they're just a clean, effective card that's even more valuable due to the expanded card pool. There's also Machina Armored Unit. Once per turn, when a machine monster is destroyed by battle, you can special summon a machine from your deck with the same attribute, but less attack than that destroyed monster in the graveyard. But since monsters being destroyed by battle is becoming less and less common, I think it's safe to skip over this one. Though it is interesting to note that it doesn't specify it has to be your machine that's destroyed, so, there's that. There were also a couple of supplemental cards that came out over the next few years. Machina Cannon was interesting at the time, but it's been completely power crept, and this script is like 3 pages long, so I'm just going to move on to the next card. Machina Megaform is interesting. It's a level 8 Earth machine with 2600 attack and 1500 defense. And if a Machina Fortress you control is sent to the graveyard while Megaform is in the grave, you can banish that fortress from the grave to special summon Megaform. You can also tribute Megaform to summon any Machina from your hand or deck. Being a level 8 you can search with Gearframe, you can use it as a monster reborn for Fortress. And if Fortress dies, Megaform is in a prime position to replace it. You can even tribute Megaform to grab the original Fortress once you have an open game state. If you could banish any machine from Megaform's revival, I imagine this would see a lot more play, but banishing a Fortress feels really bad. So, that's everything we have up till this point. Fortress is a big beefy tank that isn't quite as hard to deal with nowadays as it used to, but 2500 attack and easy material is still nothing to scoff at. But where do we go from here? Machina Citadel is a level 10 Earth machine with 3000 attack and 2500 defense. This absolute chonker can't be normal summoned or set, but can be summoned by any card effect. As a quick effect, you can target one machine you control and destroy that monster and every monster your opponent controls with less than or equal attack to the targeted monster. Now, this is where things get a little fuzzy. As it turns out, my knowledge of Union monster rulings is a little rusty. From what I can tell, if you target one of your machine monsters equipped with the Union monster, on resolution, the Union monster will be destroyed instead of the equipped monster, and you'll still get to destroy all of your opponent's monsters that qualify. But Citadel has one of those A and B effects with problem-solving card text, where you have to be able to do both to do either of them, and I'm not sure how that works with replacement effects. If anyone has more information on this or has more specifics, please sound off in the comments below and let me know if I'm on the right track here or if I'm just wildly off base. Also, if an Earth machine you control is destroyed while Citadel is in the grave, it just gets to come back. No biggie. The more I think about this guy, the more excited I get. It's perfect discard fodder for Fortress. If Fortress gets destroyed, you just get to replace it with Citadel, and then you can proactively smash your opponent with a huge board wipe. Also, imagine just summoning out 2 of these in one turn, swinging for 6,000 direct, and then overlaying for Gustav Max. The design space here is so cool. Next, we have Machina Air Raider and Machina Irradiator, a pair of monsters that are meant to facilitate getting the setup off the ground. And for one of them, that's being literal. Both are level 8 Earth Machine monsters, and can be special summoned from the hand by discarding one other Machina monster. Air Raider has 1500 attack and 2600 defense, and during your opponent's turn, you can target one machine you control, summon a Machina with a different name from your deck of equal or lower level, and if you do, destroy the targeted monster. Irradiator is similar, sporting 1700 attack and 2400 defense, but it can only be used during your opponent's turn, and the monster you summon has to be from the graveyard. Of the two, I think I like Irradiator best. You can pitch Megaform to summon it, trade the Irradiator for that Megaform, and then tribute it to Field Citadel. Air Raider being able to summon during your opponent's turn is good, don't get me wrong, but I think its value is derived from being able to trigger the Citadel summon on your opponent's turn, rather than being inherently powerful. I'm going to skip ahead on the timeline a bit, but there's also going to be a promo card for the theme, Machina Metalcrunch, a really cool retrain of Gearframe. It's a level 9 Earth machine with 2800 attack and 0 defense. It can be normal summoned without a tribute if you control no face-up cards, and if you do, its attack becomes 1800. When either normal or special summoned, Metalcrunch lets you reveal any 3 Earth machine monsters from your deck, and your opponent randomly picks one to put into your hand. However, since it's worded like Lilith, Lady of Lament, you can just pick 3 of the same monster to ensure you get the one you want. And unlike its counterpart, this search triggers off of being special summoned as well. And now, on to the support. The deck has a search card in the form of Machina Reformation. It's a normal spell that lets you do either one of 2 things, though you can only activate 1 copy of Reformation per turn. You can either discard a card to add any 2 Machina monsters with different names from your deck to your hand, or discard a Machina card to search any 2 Machina cards with different names from your deck to your hand. This is a really neat search card. Although the once per turn restriction would normally mean that running too many could cause brick hands, the fact that you can discard another copy of Reformation to get the best effect means you won't have to worry about playing 3 of them to smooth out your hands. Any opener with a copy of Reformation and either Megaform or Citadel leads to a fantastic field. Simply activate the spell and search either Megaform or Citadel, whichever you didn't pitch, and Irradiator. Discard one of the searched cards to field Irradiator, then use its effect to swap it for Megaform, which will in turn revive Citadel. Tribute Megaform for Metalcrunch, and search as needed. If you lack a Gearframe, for instance, reveal 3 copies of it, then normal summon it because we haven't used that yet. You'll likely grab Fortress, but even if you can't summon it now, you can still attach Gearframe to Citadel for a guilt-free board wipe on demand. Assuming my previous assertion is true. We also have Machina Defense Region, which is less exciting. It's a continuous spell that protects all of your level 6 or lower machines from being targeted by battler card effects, but only so long as you control a level 7 or higher machine. Also, if a machine you control is destroyed, you can add any machine from your graveyard to your hand. I suppose being able to recycle your machines while you blow them up is pretty useful, but it's very reactive, and few of your machines are low enough level to benefit from the protection it provides. Honestly, I'd probably just play this more in Desk Boss than in Machina, but if I'm right about something, that may change in the future. To explain, let me introduce Machina Overdrive. It's a normal trap that works along similar lines to Air Raider and Irradiator. On activation, you target a machine you control, summon a Machina from your hand or deck with a different name, levels here don't matter, then destroy the targeted monster. You can also banish Overdrive to target 3 of your banished and or yarded machines, shuffle them into the deck, and draw 1. You can only activate 1 Overdrive per turn, and only use 1 effect per turn. Machina don't do a lot of banishing, but this goes a long way to feeling more comfortable banishing Fortress for Megaform's revival. And it's searchable off of Reformation. But what's that big imposing mecha that Citadel is facing off against? Well, I've got a feeling that it's heralding a new theme to come that will work in tandem with the Machina, despite being staged as adversaries. Presenting Machina Possesstorage, a dark machine with 1600 attack and 1500 defense. When normal or special summoned, you can special summon any other Machina from your grave in defense position, but it can't activate its effects this turn. Also, Possesstorage can target another Machina you control and a spell or trap your opponent controls, and return them to the hand. This has a number of wacky applications. If you summon Possesstorage off of any of the effects that also destroy a Machina, this Soldier Retrain can grab it back, and then put it into your hand to clear out a problematic back row. The targeted Machina also doesn't have to return to the hand to resolve the back row bouncing effect. While its effects are stunned, you can chain a separate Citadel's effect targeting the same card as Possesstorage did, letting you blast your opponent's monsters and a back row all at once. If this trend of dark retrains continues for the rest of the previously unplayable Machina, we might just have a better reason to play Defense Region. The last new card in the structure deck, and the one that solidifies my stance that we'll be seeing a new wave of support in the future, is Malefactors Command, a quick play spell that attaches 1 machine union from your hand or deck to an appropriate machine monster, though that monster can't be special summoned this turn. Once again, this is predicated on my Citadel ruling being correct, but this is pretty much the reason you should be playing Peacekeeper in Modern Machina. Attach Peacekeeper to any Machina before you blow it up for an effect, you get to keep it safe, and you get a search. You can also equip Oilman for draw power, or Torque Tune Gear to make a free tuner. And on top of all the cool things this enables, the artwork shows more of the golden cylinders from Possesstorage's image, which tells me that the new Malefactor threat is responsible for hijacking Soldier. And I wouldn't be surprised if we saw similar things happen to Sniper, Defender, and Commander Covington. And that ominous mecha in the Machina Overdrive artwork? Well, Machina Force didn't get an update in this product, but I'm confident we'll be seeing something in a future set. Thank you all for watching. I'm looking forward to testing out some Machina theory on my usual livestream, which is Friday at 8 PM Central, so if you're interested in joining me, make sure to subscribe and ring the bell so that you're notified when I go live. And if you have any plans for Machina that I didn't cover in today's video, let me know about them in the comments. Thank you all again for watching, and I'll see you next time. Bye bye.